Have you ever met a man who seems perfectly capable on the surface? He has a job, pays his bills, maybe even owns a home. But the moment life gets difficult, he reacts like a teenager. He avoids responsibility. He blames everyone else. He expects others to solve his problems. And somehow, despite being an adult, he never seems to truly grow up. Psychologists have a name for this pattern: the man-child. But here is the surprising part. Most man-children aren't lazy. They're not stupid, and they're often not even aware of what they're doing. The real explanation runs much deeper, and once you understand it, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Intro: today, we're exploring the psychology of the man-child. Why do some people physically become adults but emotionally remain stuck in adolescence? What experiences create this pattern? And perhaps most importantly, can they ever change? The answers reveal something fascinating about human development, emotional maturity, and the hidden forces that shape our adult lives. Let's begin with the signs. Section 1. Signs of a man-child. Imagine this situation. A couple has been together for years. Bills need to be paid. Appointments need scheduling. Household problems need solving. Yet one partner consistently leaves these responsibilities to the other, not because he can't do them, because he doesn't want to. This is one of the most common signs of a man-child, a chronic avoidance of adult responsibility. But it doesn't stop there. Many man-children struggle with emotional regulation. When criticized, they become defensive. When challenged, they become angry. When things go wrong, they look for someone to blame. Instead of responding like an adult, they react like a frustrated child. Another common trait is dependence. Even as adults, they often rely heavily on parents, partners, or friends to manage important parts of life. On the surface, these behaviors may seem unrelated, but underneath them lies a deeper psychological pattern, and that is where things get interesting. Section 2. Why they become this way. No one is born a man-child. This pattern develops over time. One major factor is overprotective parenting. When children are constantly rescued from consequences, they never learn essential life skills. Every mistake is fixed for them. Every problem is solved for them. Every discomfort is removed. As a result, they enter adulthood without developing confidence in their ability to handle challenges. Another pathway is emotional neglect. Ironically, children who receive too little emotional support can also become emotionally immature adults. Without healthy guidance, they never learn how to process difficult emotions effectively, so instead of managing emotions, they avoid them, suppress them, or blame others for them. There is also something psychologists call learned helplessness. When people repeatedly feel incapable of influencing outcomes, they stop trying. Over time, passivity becomes a habit. Responsibility feels overwhelming. Avoidance feels safe. And adulthood begins to feel like a threat rather than an opportunity. Section 3. The hidden psychology. But beneath all these behaviors lies a deeper truth. Many man-children are driven by fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of inadequacy. Think about it. If you never take responsibility, you never have to risk failing. If you avoid commitment, you never have to risk disappointment. If someone else handles everything, you never have to confront your own limitations. From a psychological perspective, immaturity often functions as a defense mechanism. It is not simply childishness. It is protection. The problem is that what protects you in the short term can trap you in the long term. Every responsibility avoided becomes a skill never developed. Every difficult conversation avoided becomes emotional growth delayed. Every excuse becomes another brick in a psychological prison, and eventually that prison becomes your identity. Section 4. The cost. At first glance, being a man-child may seem harmless, but the long-term consequences can be severe. Relationships often suffer the most. Partners become exhausted. Resentment builds. Trust declines. What begins as patience often turns into frustration. Career growth can also stagnate. Many adult responsibilities require discipline, accountability, and emotional resilience. Without these traits, opportunities are missed. Challenges are avoided. Potential remains unrealized. Perhaps the greatest cost is personal growth itself. Because maturity isn't just about age, It is about becoming capable of handling reality. And every year spent avoiding reality is a year spent avoiding your own development. Section 5. Can they change? Here is the good news. Yes, a man-child can change. But only under one condition: they must take responsibility for their own growth. Psychologists consistently find that lasting change begins with self-awareness. The moment someone recognizes their patterns, they gain the power to challenge them. That means learning emotional regulation, accepting accountability, developing independence, and becoming willing to tolerate discomfort. Because maturity isn't something that happens automatically. It is something that is practiced, one difficult choice at a time, one responsibility at a time, one uncomfortable conversation at a time. The process isn't easy, but it is possible. And for those willing to do the work, the rewards can be life-changing. Conclusion: the man-child is often misunderstood. People see laziness. Psychology often sees fear. People see irresponsibility. Psychology often sees emotional avoidance. But understanding isn't the same as excusing. At some point, every adult must decide whether to remain who they are or become who they're capable of being. And perhaps that is the real lesson here. Growing older is automatic. Growing up is a choice. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments. Do you think society is creating more man-children today than in previous generations? And if you found this topic fascinating, subscribe for more psychology insights into human behavior, relationships, and personal growth. Thanks for watching.